How are you all? So this time I have a poem called The Tale of Custard the Dragon by Ogden Nash. That is from your book First Flight. So actually it's a story. Okay, so the poem is written in a ballad. Ballad means where the writer tells a story or the poet tells a story. But this is a kind of parody, like humorous poem. So let's understand this poem from your book First Flight.
So, students, let's dive into the tale of Custard the Dragon. So, before understanding the poem, let's talk about the poet. Frederick Ogden Nash was born on August 19 in the year 1902 and he died May 19, 1971. He was an American poet well known for his light verse, of which he wrote over 500 pieces. With his unconventional rhyming schemes, he was declared the country's best known producer of humorous poetry. He worked for a short time on Wall Street and then as a school teacher. Before becoming a copywriter, Nash's first poem began to be published in the New Yorker around 1930. His poetry collections from that time include The Boy Who Laughed at Santa Claus in 1957 and Girls Are Silly in 1962 were very famous. He is perhaps best remembered for these and for his nonsense poetry. Nash died on 19 May 1971. The Tale of Custard the Dragon is said to be the Ogden Nash most famous poem for children. It was published in 1936 as part of his collection of poetry entitled The Bad Parents' Garden of Verse. So let's understand the poem by understanding each stanza. So first of all, each of the 14 stanzas in the Tale of Custard the Dragon follows the same simple rhyme scheme, that is AABB. That is to say, each stanza is actually composed of a pair of rhymed couplets. So this is the first stanza, The Tale of Custard the Dragon by Ogden Nash. It says, Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little grey mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon and a really truly little pet dragon. So in this stanza, we are introduced to Belinda, who lives with her pets in a white house. These pets are a black kitten, a grey mouse, a yellow dog, and a dragon. They all use a red wagon. Wagon means a kind of cart when they want to go out somewhere. So in this stanza, you understood that Belinda and her pets live peacefully in a little white house. These pets are a cat named Ink, a mouse named Blink, a dog named Mustard, and a dragon named Custard. So she was living in a white house. So now understand the names, or you may say the introduction of the characters here. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink. As I have told you, the cat's name was Ink, and the little grey mouse, she called him Blink, and she was having a grey mouse whose name was Blink, and the little yellow dog was Sharp as Mustard, and she had a dog and his name was Mustard because he was of yellow color. And more important, but the dragon was a coward and she called him Custard because it is a humorous poem. So here the dragon is called coward, but the dragon was a coward, means he was not brave, he was behaving cowardly. That's why she called him Custard. Now understand stanza third. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth. Now we would understand the description of that dragon. So how he looked like. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on top of him and scales underneath. Mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and Relio Trulio draggers on his toes. So in this stanza, we are told that Custard was a full-grown dragon and could easily defend himself against any danger, for he had sharp teeth, spikes on his back, scales beneath his belly, and dragger-like toes. He could also breathe fire. Let's move to stanza 4. Blinda was a brave as a barrel full of beers, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard cried for a nice safe place. So this is humorous poem where the Custard dragon is said to be coward. So in this stanza we are told that Blinda, Ink, Blink and Mustard were all very brave. Okay, even though they were much smaller in size than Custard, yet they were brave. But that Custard was so cowardly that he preferred to be caged if that would keep him safe. So basically, the poet tells that although he was appearing so brave, so huge in size, yet he was very coward and he preferred to be in cage rather than go outside. And other animals like the cat, the dog, they were possessed as brave one, but Custard was coward one. Blinda tickled him, she tickled him unmercifully. Ink, Blink and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon at the Relio Trulio cowardly dragon. So in this stanza, we are told that Blinda and the others all made fun of Custard for being so afraid all the time. Blinda tickled him mercilessly, means without taking any mercy. Continuously she was tickling the dragon. Blinda tickled him, and Ink, Blink and Mustard ironically compared him with the brave knight called Percival, who had been in the service of King Arthur, to show him how unlike Percival he really was. So actually this is contradictory statement. Percival was a brave person, so he was behaving, the dragon was behaving very cowardly, so they just teased him by naming Percival. So let's understand the next stanza. The sixth stanza says, Blinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said, Eek, which is giggling for a mouse. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice safe cage. So actually all of them were making fun of that dragon whom they considered coward. So in this stanza we are told that whenever Custard wanted to be put in a cage, Blinda, Blink giggled to their heart's content, and Ink and Mustard asked him how old he was, that he was scared of every little thing. Actually they were making fun of that dragon by asking his age, that how old are you? You are so old, so big, yet you are afraid of everything. So actually they all are making fun of Custard. Now next stanza. Suddenly, they heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled, and they all looked around. Meow, cried Ink, and oh, cried Blinda. For there was a pirate climbing in the window. Window means window. So in this stanza, the poet describes a particular incident when Blinda and her pets all heard an unpleasant sound. Mustard, sensing trouble, started growling. Ink and Belinda cried out in horror, and finally they saw that a pirate was climbing into their house through a window. So now let's move to the eighth one. Here, eighth stanza. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. So in this stanza, we are told that the pirate had guns and a knife between his teeth. He also had a beard and a wooden leg. All in all, his appearance was a quite sinister one. Belinda paled and she cried, "Help, help." So, this is the starting of stanza 9. Belinda paled and she cried, "Help, help." But Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little Mouse Blink strategically mousehold. So see how brave they were appearing in the starting, but when there were real crises, how they were behaving. When actual crisis came, so how they behaved. They were possessing themselves as very brave, but how they are behaving now. Let's understand in stanza 9. So as they have seen a pirate entering through a window with knives and guns and with sinister appearance. So in this stanza we see that Belinda started to cry for help, although she was possessing as very brave. Okay, and even Mustard the dog ran away. Ink hid in the basement, and Blink went into his household, that is mouse hole. So how they were behaving when the real crisis came. So it shows the double standard of the people, that they possess something else, but when actual situation comes, and they started behaving like the opposite. Now let's come to the stanza 10. But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like ants in a dungeon. With a clatter and a clank and a jangling squirm, he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. So Custard, whom they all considered coward in this crisis, in the actual crisis, only he was behaving so bravely. So let's understand. So in this stanza, we are told that Custard surprised everyone with his actions. He jumped up and started snorting in. So he jumped up and started snorting in a fierce mood, like very angry. In fact, it sounded like an engine revving. Then Custard beat his tail against the floor, and that sounded like metal chains in a dungeon being banged against one pirate in the same way that a bird charges at a swarm that it will eat. So only he acted so bravely. He attacked the pirate like one robin bird attacked some worm. So only he was behaving very bravely when there was real crisis. Now let's understand the next stanza. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon. He was so surprised and awestruck. Okay, he was gaping at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they did not hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit. So in this stanza, we are shown the pirate's reaction to Custard. First of all, he knew that he had no chance of winning against a dragon. So he just stared at the Custard and took a drink of alcohol from his flagon. Flagon means a bottle, pocket flagon means a short bottle where we could carry, where one carries some drink. So he gulped means he drank some sips of alcohol. Preparing to be eaten alive, he feebly fired 2 shots at Custard from his pistol. Although he attempted to fire some shots on Custard, but obviously they didn't hit him. But his aim was off, and finally Custard ate him up in one bite. So finally, the Custard the dragon, whom all considered as coward, he gulped. He just ate up that pirate. Belinda, now let's understand stanza 12. Belinda embraced him, Mustard licked him. So now see the change, how they have changed their behavior towards the dragon. Earlier they were making fun, now they were pampering him. Okay, so Mustard licked him. No one mourned for his pirate victim. Ink and Blink in glee did great around the dragon that ate the pirate. So in this stanza we came to know about the double standard of the people, that when the actual crisis came, they were not acting bravely, but earlier they were making fun of dragon. Now their behavior changed. So in this stanza we are told that Belinda gave Custard a hug and Mustard licked him. Earlier Mustard was making fun of him by calling his age or by calling him name. Now he was licking him. So both man and dog expressed approval in their own way. Nobody spared a thought for the pirate who had been eaten by the dragon. Instead, Ink and Blink started dancing in a happy mood. Okay, so they did a great, means they were just spinning round and round and they were dancing. So now let's move to stanza 13. So it says, but presently up spoke little dog Mustard. I would have been twice as brave if I had not been flustered. And up spoke Ink and up spoke Blink. We would have been 3 times as brave, we think. And Custard said, I quite agree that everybody is braver than me. So it became very clear that who was brave and who was a coward after the pirate incident happened. But Mustard started to give excuses for his cowardice and said that he would have been twice as brave as Custard if he had not got nervous when the pirate came. Ink and Blink said that they would have been thrice as brave as the dragon. So they all were making excuses for their behavior when the time of need. Okay, they could not believe that Custard, the coward dragon, had done such a heroic act, and so they started giving excuses for running away. The humble dragon, how humbly he was replying. See the quality of that dragon. The humble dragon accepted that he was the most coward and everyone was braver than him. So this stanza shows that a real character person always remain humble. Okay, when they do anything or when they perform any action, they never just speak out the things or just praise themselves. Rather, they give credit to others because everybody knows the reality. Okay, Belinda still lives in her little white house with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon and her really truly little pet dragon. So in this stanza we are told that everything has gone back to the normalcy. Again, Belinda is living once again in peace with her pets in her white house. So really means really, truly means truly, little pet dragon. Now let's understand the last one. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of beers, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard cried for a nice safe cage. So in this stanza, we are again told that Belinda, Ink, Blink and Mustard are still brave despite knowing that the pirate could have easily killed them all. On the other hand, Custard is still a coward and still longs for a safe cage. So again, everything came to the previous situation, and they were still laughing on that dragon for his coward nature, because he always cry for a nice safe place. So what are the poetic devices used here? As I have told you, the rhyme scheme is AABB. Then oxymoron. Oxymoron means the poetic device where contradictory terms appear. So in this poem, the poet uses the device of oxymoron when he writes the phrase pet dragon. So we all know that dragons are dangerous creatures, and therefore we find it hard to believe that they can be domesticated. Simile is also being used here, as the use of as shows the simile. That is simile is in third line of the second stanza, and there is another, that is third line of the third stanza, like is used. So these are the example of simile. Metaphor. This poetic device is used when a covert comparison is made, so between two different things or ideas. So the poet uses this device of metaphor in the third line of the third stanza when he compares the dragon's nose with a chimney. Again, the most prominent one, that is personification. This poetic device is used to bestow human qualities on something that is not human. So in this poem, the personification is used, okay, when with the respect to the Belinda's kitten, mouse and dog. So here in second line of fifth stanza, he gives them all the human ability to speak and to tease each other. Okay, so these are the main poetic devices used here. So what is the theme? Theme here, we can say that do not judge a book by its cover could be the theme of this poem. Because Custard is always mocked for being coward, whereas when the real situation appeared, only he was acting bravely. So we can say that the central idea of the poem is that everyone is having their own qualities, and we should not judge a book by its cover. Okay, so the tone of the poem is humorous one. Most of the part is humorous. So I hope you have understood this poetry so well. Thanks for watching this video.